Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks. He's back after 2 weeks. The professor himself, Ken Golden. I wore his favorite shirt today.
No, my favorite band.
Yes, exactly.
I'm so disappointed that this is the farewell tour.
Yeah, well, that's what they say anyway, right? So we'll
Yeah.
see if that sticks. But yes, this weekend, Kiss is done. But we know you all didn't tune into the show to hear about Kiss. That was actually earlier this morning. Martin Popoff and I talked quite a bit about Kiss this morning. But Ken is here after we had a week break for the Thanksgiving holiday. But Ken's back. I'm sure you've got lots of stuff to talk about, and that's going on sale today.
I got about 2 weeks worth of stuff.
Okay, cool.
I'll try and blow through it. And look, everybody should see how professional I am now with the new logo. We got the logo up there, right? And yeah, I'm trying my best. So let's see. Let's start. We'll get the let's get the pre-orders out of the way. There's only one pre-order, but it's a big one. There we go. Steve Hackett, The Circus and the Night Whale, comes out February 16th. Yeah, I didn't pick the cover. So
I love orca killer whales, but yeah, it's kind of an odd cover for that. But
the circus tent inside. And it's a concept album. I know that. And I think Steve might have put a video out for one track yesterday, I think. I know his brother John's playing on it. I don't know much else. There is a regular CD. There will be a CD Blu-ray media book version. There's going to be black vinyl, and then there's going to be a limited edition blue vinyl that will have only 300 copies for the world. It's just a single LP. It's not not doing the double, I guess is what it is. But I think I like Steve's recent work. So
I do too. It's all very solid, and his guitar playing is great. And when he's got Nad singing, it's pretty cool that he does most of the Genesis stuff. It's good. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. So all right, now we'll get into the regular new release stuff. First thing we're going alphabetically. Alta-Rain, Upon the Horizon. Alta-Rain, this is their second album. It's an offshoot from Trans-Siberian Orchestra with Jeff Plate and keyboardist Jane Mangini. I don't know if there's any relationship to Mike. I don't know. I know that there's a tribute to Paul O'Neill on here, this because of the Sabotage connection, and with Al Pitrelli and Chris Cafferty's on it. Could be good, right? Next thing we got, Ancient Greece. Now, I was selling a cheap copy of Ancient Greece a few weeks back. That was on Angel Air. It was an official release as far as I know. Angel Air doesn't put out boots or anything like that. This is a new one from Esoteric, and they say first time from the master tapes. So I don't know. If you missed,
the Angel Air version is pretty decent. So that's,
and you know what? It's a good album. If you missed out on it, it costs you a little bit more, but it'll be a nice copy. This one just showed up about 5 minutes before we started recording. New one from Swedish power metal band Accent Star, Chapter 8. So me being a detective, I'm going to assume this is their 8th album. So I think it's pretty safe, right?
I think so, yeah.
Distributor put this on sale, so I said I'm going to bring it in. I know you reviewed it, but I haven't had a chance to check it out. Beck, Bogert, Appice, or Peace, however you want to pronounce Carmen's last name. It's a 4 CD box set, live in Japan 1973, live in London 1974. Good?
Excellent.
Is it a piece or Appice?
He says a piece.
I think it's wrong. I don't think he knows.
But the Italian way to say it, it's not even Appice. It should be Appice. That's the way it should be said. But I don't know. You can't get a straight answer from any of those two brothers. So he told me, Carmine told me himself that he changed it to a piece because nobody could pronounce it the way it's supposed to be pronounced. So he's like, screw it up, just a piece.
Okay. I always call it Appice. So. Yeah. All right. Next thing we got Wolfgang Bach, Mintaka. So Wolfgang Bach, he was a disciple of Klaus Schulze, and he made a great album a long time ago called Cycles. This is the first album he's done in 26 years. So if you're into Berlin School electronics like Vintage Tangerine Dream and Klaus Schulze, Adalbert von Dyen, that kind of thing, Wolfgang Bach is back. And if I'm not mistaken, that's not his real name. I don't remember. So
That's not Wolfgang Puck in disguise.
yeah, right. You ever been to the Puck building in Manhattan? Cool building.
No, but I ate at his restaurant in Vegas many years ago.
I did too. The steakhouse. Yeah, that's right. It was in the Bellagio. So
Yeah, that in the Bellagio, and then his original one is in Caesar's Palace.
Next one I got is something that Pete, you would really like a lot. Compass Rises. So I think it was the last update, a week before, we were selling a CD by a band called Compass, which was an English sort of prog metal thing. This has nothing to do with it. This is actually an early 70s electric jazz ensemble. Original copies of vinyl, this thing around $1,000. It's really rare. And this is a legit reissue. And they were from Oneonta, New York. I think the album was around 1973 or so. You like Fender Rhodes, Pete?
Yeah, I do.
I'm a freak for Fender Rhodes. This thing is loaded with Fender Rhodes, soprano sax. It's got a little bit of that spiritual feel to it. It's a really, really good album. I think this is something that'd be in your wheelhouse. So let's see. Next, we're still in the C's. A new one from Cyan. Actually, there's two pieces. So Cyan was Rob Reed from Magenta. This was his old band, and he decided to get the boys back together and actually put together a new version of the band. And he's re-recorded Pictures from the Other Side, which was, I believe, their second album. So he's got Pete Jones, who, people know he was the keyboardist in Camel, and he also has Tiger Moth Tales. So he's involved in this as well. So it's Rob Reed and Peter Jones, and I don't know who else is in the band. I don't know. I don't think Christina is heavily involved in this at all. There is a companion album here, Pictures from Another Side. It's an EP, and it's got some orchestral remixes. I think it's like 4 orchestral remixes from the album, and then some live acoustic versions, like live in the studio kind of thing. So they were a good neo-prog band back in the day. So he cleaned it up and redid it and reinterpreted it. And they showed up yesterday, and they're flying out the door. So
there you go.
All right, back into the metal world for a moment. New one from Eldritch, Inner Void, Italian prog metal band, and Terrence Holler is no longer in the band. Their lead singer, he's gone. So I believe the new guy is Alex Caruso. I don't think he was in anything of importance, but kind of surprising. I always assumed that it was Terrence's band, but he's no longer.
It's a band I was listening to back in the 90s. I remember you were selling their early stuff back.
Headspace and
those are good. Those early ones. I haven't thought about this band in a million years. It's like crazy. I thought they were.
They got a little. They got a little heavier, a little thrashier over the years, but always still have that prog, that prog mentality, and always quality stuff. So yeah. So a new one's called Inner Void that just showed up. Next thing we got. This is a vinyl only reissue. Fields Contrast. This was released on CD by Esoteric some years ago. Fields was an English prog band with Andy McCullough, and they made the one album, except it turned out they made a second album, which got shelved by the label. It was never released, and it came out. Esoteric dug out the master tapes and put it out, and it turned out that it was as good as the first album. Were you familiar with these guys at all?
I have the first one, yeah.
I thought that was good. Kind of a little ELP-ish, because of the keyboard, bass, drums kind of a thing. They're a good band, and this one, Contrast, is very good too. So Black Widow Records just put it out on vinyl. I believe we still have the CD, and I think there may be a Fields box coming from Esoteric. I think. Okay, so here's one that showed up along with the Accent Star a few minutes ago. The second one from the Fusion Syndicate. So two, Beautiful Horizon and John Etheridge, Helios Creed, Jerry Goodman, Tony Kaye, Steve Morse, Angelo Moore, Justin Chancellor, Theo Travis, Marty Friedman, Chad Wackerman, Brian Auger, Percy Jones, Robbie Krieger, Asaf Circus, Joe Wobble, Jim Beard, Steve Hillage, Steve Hillage, Randy Brecker, Chester Thompson, Michael Hampton, Scott Kinsey, Billy Sherwood, Alfonso Johnson, Fernando Perdomo. So
that Cleopatra.
Of course. So yeah, of course. Give me a few minutes, I'll put out another one. So,
Yeah, they'll find 12 other people to work on it.
Yeah. Now from one of my heroes, Peter Gabriel, we've got IO. There's two versions of it. This is the 2 CD version, and then we have the 2 CD Blu-ray version. So you get two different mixes. You get the bright side and the dark side mixes, mixed by two different engineers. And which one's better? I don't know. I rolled the dice and I bought for myself the vinyl, which has the dark side mixes. Is it better? I don't know. So I haven't listened to the album. Did you listen to it at all?
I haven't heard anything yet, so I'm ordering it tomorrow. And
I didn't want to hear a track a month. I want to hear it as an album.
I agree with you. I felt the same way. Yeah.
So yeah. And the Blu-ray has like the high res mixes. I think maybe Dolby Atmos, and so Peter's always, one thing about Peter, I gotta say, he's always at the forefront of technology.
Well, that is true. Yeah.
So next thing we got here from Italy, from Black Widow, Mater Acclivus Imperat, Carmina Occulta. So this is for people that are into stuff like Jacula and Goblin. What I love are the strategically placed stars on the cover art. You see that? I think that's pretty funny.
Covering all the nasty bits, right? Or the lovely bits, depending on how you think about it, right?
Covering the bases. So it's like that dark, really dark, occult influenced, kind of heavy prog. It's good, not bad stuff. Now we have the new one from, did I screw up here? The new one from Mercenary.
I can't believe they're back. That's crazy.
Yeah, Danish band, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Kind of death metal, prog, and right.
Yeah, their early albums are a mix of like melodic death metal and progressive metal. Pretty exciting stuff. And then like they lost a couple members, changed a couple members, and they became like a metalcore band, and I lost interest completely. But their early stuff is really, really good.
Now I could be wrong, and I'm going to show you how old I am. I should know this, but I'm not 100% sure. If I remember correctly, one of the guys in the band used to be in Wuthering Heights, which was a band that I put out a number of CDs for. But I could be wrong. I could have them mixed up with somebody else.
I don't remember. Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar to me, but you could be right.
I could also be wrong. Lately, I've been more wrong than right. So
But kind of like their early stuff was to me a little like Scar Symmetry. I got into both those bands right around the same time. They were both kind of doing sort of similar type things. So if you like Scar Symmetry, you'll probably like Merc. Again, I've heard and read that this new album is supposedly a return to their old sound, because I know their last couple albums didn't do anything for me. So I guess that would be a good thing if they are. But
I can't tell you, man. It's out of my area of interest. So, but some of my customers like that stuff, so we have it.
Yeah.
Next one's a real good album. The new one from Leor.
Yeah, that's what you said.
So it's Leor and Friends, and this is sort of an exclusive package. It's a 3 CD set. The first CD is the new studio album. The second, and it's great. I mean, it's classic Leor. Aldo Tagliapietro's no longer in the band, but it's that classic Leor 70s Italian prog thing, and it's really, really solid. The second album is Leor collaborating with old members. So Toa Martin is on there. Why am I having a brain fart at the moment?
You got the old.
Yeah, and Jimmy Spitaleri, who was from Metamorphosis, he's on there. All different guys from the Italian prog scene, and I think maybe Lino Veretti from Osana may be on there. And that's the second album. And then the third CD, it's kind of like a sampler that the label put out. It's all different current Italian prog bands. So really, it's not tied in with Leor as far as I can tell in any way, shape, or form. So, but and it comes housed in a DVD package. But I got to tell you, that new album, really, really, really strong. Like it a lot. Next thing we got, a band that doesn't get talked about enough, I don't think. New one from Orphan Land. It's a live album, and it's called Heaven You May Create. It's a CD DVD. It's the 30th anniversary show with orchestra and some guests. It was recorded in 2021 during the COVID lockdown. So I've watched the clip, and I was impressed. But it's a band I've always liked.
Really talented band. They're a little out there at times for me, but their stuff is very adventurous, and
it's sort of like, in a way, parts of it a little bit like Myrath. It's got that Middle Eastern feel, but it's also got that progressive element. I was talking about the fact that they had Steve Hackett playing on their last studio album.
Yeah.
So they kind of stretch the boundaries a bit, and clean vocals and not so clean vocals. Not the best, but yeah, they're a good band, and so we got that. Next thing, here's a band that if you don't know, Pete, you would like a lot. Overforward, U.S. prog band. This one's called There Are No Ordinary Moments. They have a number of albums, all instrumental, and they kind of remind me a little bit of Jam Carrey. Really, really solid stuff. Good. Really good instrumental meat and potatoes prog rock. So next thing, vinyl only, and it's been reissued a number of times actually. Gigi Pascal e la Pop Campagna Meccanica. It's called Debut. It's an early 70s Italian prog album. Short. I think it's only about 26 minutes. Guy went on to have a career as a pop singer in Italy. I think he changed his name. But this is like, traditional, heavy, organ-dominated Italian prog, rock progressivo Italiano, and pretty good. And next, we got the new one from the Italian band El Segno del Comando. It's called El Domenicano Bianco. There's a CD version and a vinyl version. It's Italian prog. They've been around for quite a while. It's Italian prog, but from like the heavier side.
Okay.
And popular and already selling quite well. Got two versions. This is Spuck Speared Feel Euphoria. This is a vinyl reissue. 2 LP on black and 2 LP on blue. No problem. What are you doing with that?
The label sent it to me. I don't know. It's sitting here.
Oh my God.
That's what it looks like, everybody.
You should raffle that off.
Yeah, I might do that.
So, or I have a better idea. Buy a turntable.
Just to play this? No.
Well, I got a few other things here I could sell you.
I'm sure you do.
All right. The next thing we got here, I'm looking forward to digging into this one. Strange New Dawn, New Nights of Euphoria. Members of Green Carnation, founding members of Green Carnation and Into the Woods. It's kind of like Norwegian psychedelic, progressive, atmospheric doom metal. It's all kind of, very dramatic stuff. Not too dissimilar from like what Green Carnation's doing now.
Green Carnation in their prime were really good, and then they just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
But you know what? They kind of blew everybody away at Prague Power, and so. Hey Jim, are they coming back? Yeah, they're coming back. So next we got what do we got? We got Devin Townsend, Infinity, 25th anniversary. You'll notice he updated the album cover. There's a 2 CD version and a 2 LP blue vinyl version. The black vinyl's not ready yet. This is remastered with bonus tracks. New one from Universe Zero. It's been quite a while. This one is called Leor, L-U-E-U-R. How do you say? I don't know. There's a CD and there's vinyl, and I can't pronounce it. Sorry. Now here's one. If you guys are into fusion jazz rock, I think this is fantastic stuff. I think we need to talk about this. The Michael Urbaniak group. Are you familiar with Michael Urbaniak? So great Polish violinist. This is a 3 CD set. It combines 2 albums that he did in 1973, Paratyphus B and Inactin. Great band. He had Adam Makovich on electric piano, has his wife, Ursula Dudziak, on wordless vocals. And what I mean by that is there are no lyrics. She just uses her voice as an instrument. And once you kind of dial into it, you almost don't even realize that you're hearing a voice. It does sound like an instrument. And what's cool is this comes with a bonus live CD from Radio Bremen from January 1972, I believe. So that's kind of a cool thing. I believe that's never been out.
Really
before.
good player.
Yeah,
Great.
and yeah. So you kind of, like I said, the Ursula Dudziak thing. Some people off, but once you kind of get into it, these are really, really good jazz rock albums. And Adam Makovich is a great pianist. Next thing we got John Wetton, An Extraordinary Life. We had taken pre-orders on it, and we're shipping. This is an 8 CD box set that kind of focuses on his solo career, and I believe there's some unreleased material on there. We've got a band you may be familiar with, Yes, the Yes album. This is the Super Deluxe Edition. Got the original mix remastered by Steven Wilson on CD and vinyl. You get they're calling 2 unreleased 1971 shows. I believe it may be audience. I'm not sure. There's the Yale Bowl, and I forget what the other show was from. So it's stuff that's been circulating for years. Maybe soundboards. So they're on there. And then you get from Steven Wilson a Blu-ray with new Dolby Atmos and 5.1 mixes. And that's the new stuff. And I got a few from the cheap shit pile. This is a nice disc. Yuka and Chronoship. It's called Ship, Japanese band. Japanese symphonic prog. Real solid stuff. I think we're selling for like $6 or so, something like that. We got Cairo. Oh no, I got them out of order. So I got John Hackett, Another Life, and John Hackett, Steve's brother. Steve plays on this. I think it's also $5 or $6, cheapy. Then we have Cairo. Cairo was this was the band that came after Touchstone. The main guy from Touchstone put this together, and that's what I got this week.
Cool. Well, good amount of stuff.
Yeah,
and more next week.
There's more stuff coming. Oh, and I should mention, I know you and Chuck did a great review of the weather report. We have more copies on the way, and they will be on the website either later today or the beginning of next week. So,
for those who are awaiting the Live in Berlin weather report set, and I mentioned this on the review that Chuck and I did, Ken also has a kind of gray area release from I think that's also from 71, Ken, if I remember correctly, from Austria.
I think I don't know. I'd have to look to see if we still have it, but it was that. Then I know we have a couple of copies of something that was just called Live in London. Again, not a boot, but it's from the 80s. You know, it's like a different band, really.
Yeah, it's a completely different band. Yeah.
For me, this is my favorite period of Weather Report. You know, the early days. I mean, I like stuff like Sweet Nighter. I think is real. That's real good. You know, fusion and stuff. But you know, Weather Report, they were a different thing. They didn't have a guitar player. They were, you know. So,
to me, those early albums, and especially that live stuff, to me is like, if you like Miles Davis, Bitches Brew era stuff, it's not much different than that. It's along the same lines.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty good comparison.
Very improvisational and just expansive and airy and atmospheric and spacey and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm just since we're recording and I'm lacking professionalism, I'm on my website searching, and I'm showing that I have Live in Tokyo, which is also, well, that was 72.
Yep.
Do I
Which is
have?
great.
I do. I am showing the Live in Austria, that we still have that, and yeah, there's some other Weather Report pieces on the website.
Yeah.
So,
If you want to, honestly, if you want like great representation of Weather Report from that period, you need the Berlin one, you need the Austria one, and you need the Tokyo one. They all go well together, and they're all quite different from each other. So it's worth having all of them.
yeah, that was a buy or die, and it's gone, and we'll get it back.
So it's coming back. Don't die on us, everybody watching.
Right. Just hold your breath a little bit.
That's all. We'll be back in stock. As always, everybody, we'll have down below in the comments section. I apologize for a couple times I've been late in posting stuff down there, but I will get them down there in the comments section before this episode airs, so that you guys can go and start shopping. And of course, as I always ask Ken, what do you got to do?
Buy a lot, buy often.
There you go. So happy shopping, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. What do we got coming up on the channel? I have to say this so George doesn't kill me. Tonight, tune in tonight. 4 Fusion Friday is happening tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss it. That'll be lots of fun. We got 4 great albums we're going to be talking about, actually 5, but the 4 in the 4 square, and then George's pick. So we have a special guest as always, so that'll be lots of fun. And tomorrow we've got the UK connection. Simon Bray, Stephen Reed, and myself will be talking about our least favorite albums from Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow. And then on Sunday, the return of Mike Antonelli to See Tranquility after a few years away. We will be ranking our top 10 John Coltrane albums on Sunday. So lots happening here on the channel. Stay tuned for all of it. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Till next week here on the Professor's Picks for Ken Golden, I am Pete Pardo. Enjoy your weekend, but we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.